everybody in Vape Land. How is everybody? I'm just pausing something, otherwise it's going to chow my bandwidth. Yo! Guys, I get quite busy quite early, eh? I saw old Imran was here at like 7 o'clock or 10 past 7. My God, you happy chappies or excited to watch this ugly face again. But yeah, let me say how's it to everybody. Imran with 14 messages, Nightbot, Brandon, Imran, Brandon, Grant is here, Etienne's here, Andre's here, the Beard himself is here, who else is here, Hardness is here, Tamshin Naika, hello, Ryan Govender, Dean Stansfield, Adib, yep, how's it. So you'll see the Nightbot's been giving you already the keyword for tonight, and one lucky viewer tonight will be the first customer in South Africa to have a set of these babies. Okay, which is Outcasts. This is the new range of juices from Steam Masters. They are a Malaysian inspired range, so they are packed with flavor, and really packed with flavor, to blow your taste buds out the water. We have got Mr. Mango. It's a mixture of a lot of different mangoes and other fruits. Predominantly mango. You got grape on ice, so for those guys who like that, like a mentally hit, that's right, going to be right up your alley. And then straw apple, which is my favorite, is a strawberry tart apple fruit concoction full of, and there's other fruits in there as well, but those are the principal fruits that you'll taste. So one lucky guy is going to win this tonight. I'll also throw in some stickers, and I think I've got a cap for you as well. So that's what's going to be giveaway tonight. I was going to do a whole big spiel on things that have come into the shop, but obviously you'll see what's been the headlines on pretty much most of the forums today, and the Facebook pages, is this proposed legislation that's coming into place. So you'll also see that the bot is giving out a link to go and sign a petition. Whether it works or not, don't know. But if you haven't done it, so you need to go do it sometime during the course of the evening or tomorrow or sometime. But you must do it, guys. As far as I know, there's 19,000 odd people on our Ava, and there's only been 3,000 signatures, I think, when I left the shop this evening, that have actually gone and signed it. So where's the other 15,000 people? The more the merrier. I personally emailed Carte Blanche today regarding it. I sent them a long-winded email, and hopefully they're going to get back to me. I'd love to do an expose on vaping, so I did email them that today. Hey, KB's here, how's it, my boy? So I hopefully we can do something about it. Whether the government listens to us or not is a different story. But yeah, hopefully we can have a bit of a say. I see that in America is going through a bit of a legislation thing as well. Andre Phillipson's 3,468. So where's the other 14,532 people that should have signed it? So yeah, if you share the living hell out of that thing, get it around. It literally takes a couple of seconds to do it. I could probably, yeah, go and do it. It's definitely something that we all have to do. Otherwise, we're going to be put in a situation where if they ban it or do something stupid, people are going to be, lives are going to be at stake again. Probably just one little bit of feedback I wanted to give you. I'm absolutely, you know me, I'm a squonker freak, and I've never really been a Hexome fanboy, and or that type of mod setup fanboy. I do use a Noisy Cricket, which uses a potentiometer, and until we got these Syrics in, okay, which is very similar to a Hexome, just a lot prettier in my opinion. And yes, I'm loving this thing like you can't believe. What I did is I put the triple T on it with a monster build. It absolutely drinks juice. that was a full bottle this morning, and you can see it was a full bottle this morning, and I've already probably done three fifths of the bottle, and it's just drinks juice. But the flavor I'm getting off this triple T, I put 3 aliens in there, and I'm running this at 50% power, and it's absolutely divine. And them chucking clouds takes a couple of seconds. Okay. Is the sound behind, was it just my internet? Ronaldo, it could just be your internet, but let's do a test. Is everything working, folks? Just, can you hear me? No feedback or anything like that? Everything okay, guys? Just tell me, just if you can just say if everything's okay with the sound and everything before I carry on chatting. Working fine. Okay, cool. Cool beans. Okay, thanks, Ronaldo. Cool. Yeah, so yeah, if you in the market for one of these Syrics, what makes us is the insides for me. The insides are just, it gives me a woody when I look at these insides. I just love it when things are put together in such a professional manner that these things are put in. So yeah, that's that there. Obviously, as you obviously know, that Outcast is launching. There is a nationwide launch. I think there's about 20 shops countrywide, that I think 15 to 20 shops countrywide that will have the juice. All the major cities centers have got the juice. We will put up a full list of those in Joburg, Pretoria, somewhere Centurion, Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Port Elizabeth. I will put up a full list of who will have the juices. There is a couple of competitions running regarding it. Some are in store, but then there's a countrywide competition to win a full hamper of all the type of stuff. Just look out at your local shop that you're going to go, if you're going to go buy it, and they've got all the rules and whatever there, and we obviously will post them on social media. Those who live in Durban, we're having a DJ and a whole hoodiches. The story behind Outcast is really, I don't conform to norms. I don't do things like everybody else does. I try to be different. So Vape tries to be different. So the inspiration behind the juices was pretty much to be different. So those guys, post your Instagram photographs, something different, skateboarder hip hopping or doing a freaking flip over a bottle of Outcasts, a sword swallow a freaking sword with a bottle of Outcast, do something stupid. The more non-conformist, the better chance you've got of winning that package. So just while we're having a discussion about the legislation, etc., I think the scenario is we all need to start communicating about it and spreading the word. As might be new, some of you might not be aware that there actually is a documentary regarding it called 1 Billion Lives. So if you, I think it's available for download. Go and download it, spread the word, because if they keep on going the way they're going, we're going to have a problem. We're hoping they're just going to tax it, because I don't think the South African government has the resources to be able to manage it. But let's ask, why don't you guys ask some questions, and I can see if I can answer them regarding it and what they're going to do. I don't have all the answers. But I think the more we start chatting about it, we might come up with some solutions on how to remedy the problem. Who is VPSA? VPSA, there's two of them. I don't know which is which. I can keep on getting confused with them. It's basically just an organization set up by vapors. One of them has got TWISP involved, and I can't remember which one it is. I stand to be corrected. And it's really just the advocacy of vaping. Both of them, I don't know why there should be two. I think someone also wants to try and make a bit of money out of it as well. Advocating and lobbying government to try and not put it in the same category as smoking. The unfortunate problem is that it contains nicotine. Although a lot of people are aware, you get nicotine in various other plants. You know, there's nicotine in nuts, there's nicotine in specific vegetables, but because it is an addictive substance, they concentrate on it. And caffeine's also addictive. Alcohol is addictive. You know, you don't see them doing what they're doing with alcohol. You know, I might piss some people off here because I'm not a drinker, so I don't, whether alcohol's around or not, it makes no impact to me. But I just wish that they would do the same for every drug in South Africa. You know, that includes your pharmaceutical drugs. Shouldn't be able to advertise at all. Alcohol, you should never be allowed alcohol in pubs, and you know. But the problem is that there's such a ripple effect there. If you had to go do it for everything, but I don't know why they keep on concentrating on nicotine, because nicotine is not, in the quantities that we consume, is not dangerous. Obviously, if a little kid drinks a whole bottle of e-juice, there's a big difference. Just on that note there, while we're talking about that, I'll get to some of the questions now. You know, there's this big drive with nic salts, and you know, and that at the moment, and I tend to stay away from it. And I think we've had this discussion before. Is, guys, if you are using these pod style devices, and you are using these high milligram nic salt juices in it, please, I beg of you, make sure that this cannot get, it's got childproof caps, and it's put away out of reach of children, because I'm hearing guys come into the shop that have got 50 milligram nic salt juices. You know, the highest that we've stocked is 20 milligram, but the guys get 50 milligram nic salts. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, if a child gets hold of 50 milligram nic salts, we have got a major problem, okay, because that'll kill them, okay, or severely make them really sick. Just recently, there's a little girl rushed to Interveni Hospital. She drank I stand to be corrected on the milligram, but I'm almost positive it was 18 milligram liquor. And she was extremely sick. She was in ICU for 3 days. She survived, but yeah, folks, this really high nic salts, please, you've got to treat this with respect. You know, I deal with 100 milligram nicotine every day, and I respect the hell out of that stuff. And I've had a couple of scares where I haven't taken the proper precautions. And folks, you can't mess around with it. So please do not leave nic salts lying around anywhere where kids can get hold of them. Apparently a petition is not legal or valid without the ID number to prevent multiple by the same person. Yeah, and that is very true, Vaughan. A petition has to have a valid South African ID number, or an ID number or passport number valid in that country. Yeah, Eugene, the problem is it's the nicotine, and then Eugene says they want to legalize drugs but ban or control vaping and flavors. The problem is the nicotine, okay, and you know, I come from the insurance industry, and I for many years when I started vaping tried to get the insurance companies to stop doing a nicotine test, a cotinine test, because that's what they use to prove you're a smoker or you're a non-smoker. And although you can get nicotine from nuts, from berries, specific berries, some root vegetables, I think sweet potato is one of them, but not in the same quantities, obviously, as tobacco. You know, from the insurance perspective, I did a lot of research, and I spoke with, I can't remember his name, that Greek doctor in Athens on numerous occasions. Evidently the right test to do is an anabasin test, and an anabasin test, which they do, actually picks up the tar in your system, which they would not get if they did if you were a vapor, okay. But obviously insurance companies, medical aids, all that type of stuff, they want to get the extra premiums because you are classified as a smoker. although the nicotine as I said earlier, in the dosages that we get is not harmful. Yes, it's addictive, but it's not harmful. And in most instances, if you actually go do your homework on nicotine, it's actually proved to be very good in specific circumstances. But on the same token, caffeine is also highly addictive, but do you put it in the same category? No, you don't, because everybody drinks a cup of coffee. It's just that they're concentrating on this nicotine, which they shouldn't be concentrating on the nicotine at all. But they should do, as I said earlier, they should do the same for alcohol, in my opinion, because alcohol, based on statistics, kills more innocents than smoking does. One drunk guy takes out a taxi bus and there's 16 people dead. But yeah, we can sit and talk that for Africa. Rayan, where are you? Where's that? Outcaster. This is South Africa. Take our right to vape and we march up. Yeah, and the problem is that we should do that, but we don't do that. You see, and the problem is people say, "Oh, it's not my problem; it's someone else's problem." You know what I mean? If you just take, for example, your family. I'll just take my family for an example. My son signed the petition, my wife signed the petition, and my daughter's going to sign the petition. They're all legally allowed to sign it because they're 16 years or older, so you have to be 16 years or older to sign a petition. Now, they've never been smokers, but they lived with me as a smoker, okay, and they know, or I know what I put them through as a smoker. So they've signed the petition, even though they're not smokers, because they would rather see me around, and they are anti-smoking. So they're anti-smoking, but they're pro-vaping, so they've gone and signed it. So what you should actually be doing is that everybody in your family, not just the vapor, everybody in your direct family should be doing that as well. It's because if they love you, they'll allow you to keep your habit up, and your habit is vaping. Whether you continue to vape for the rest of your life or you just stop vaping totally and you say you're off the nicotine, that's your choice. But there's a large percentage of the population that have addictive personalities, and they need that crutch, whether it be that they're reliant on the nicotine or they are for the habit. Mine is not the nicotine, mine's the habit. Although I do like nicotine, if I don't have it, it's not a major train smash for me. Mine's the habit of inhaling, exhaling, having something in my hands, because I'm also ADD. So what you should be doing is telling your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your wife, your aunties, your uncles, everybody who lived with you as a smoker, that are now happy that you don't smoke, and they should sign the petition as well. So that's another thing that we need to do. So you can spread the word amongst your families. If they are happy for you to be alive, and seeing the benefits of you being a non-smoker now, get them to sign the petition. As long as they got a valid ID number, all their votes will be cast. So there's a challenge for all of you. See you can get the most amount of people in your family to vote. Yeah, and Nizam says, I say we have a civil march to whichever department is responsible for the vaping and laws. Because the majority of vapors are Indian, Muslim or white, we don't like to stir the boat. So yeah, I would love to say, look, I would be one of the people marching, but I don't think that it would ever come into fruition. It's because the Indian, the Muslim and the white, we don't do that. So yeah, it might sound like I'm being racist, but I'm not. But they don't do that. Yeah, minus the raiding stores and burning tire. Ryan, I have not had a chance to test the speed in which the legend and the drag fire at all at yet. So yeah, I haven't. I'll have to. What I'm actually going to be doing now is obviously because of a problem we had with one of the mods, where someone said that it wasn't hitting hard enough. I'm actually going to buy a voltmeter so I can do the mathematics when I do my unboxing, so I can actually show you what wattage is actually giving out. I think that's the only true way to say, is this an 80 watt device or a 100 watt device or a 75 watt device? is actually to do the mathematics there and then on it. So I will be doing that. So I can, once I've got that voltmeter, which I'll hopefully go out and get it tomorrow, I can tell you which hits harder. The Pulse 80 watt's a lovely mod. The Anita is a lovely mod in its own. The Aurora I haven't had, so I can't give you my opinion on that. Either the Anita or the Pulse. I think the Anita is going to be the cheaper version if you're on a budget. The Pulse, we don't know what the cost is going to be as yet, so it's hard to tell you. Yeah, I think Imran, the more people we start spreading the word and we start, people will pick up these type of things. That just came to my mind as we were talking. You know what I mean? I'll make a note of it and I'll spread the word as much as I can. But if there's 53 people watching now, if everybody knows 10 people that knew him before they're smoking, that's already 530 people. And then that's exponential, We all need to get our families to do it as long as they've got valid ID numbers to do it. And everybody's got an email address today. So all you need is an email, your full name and your ID number and you're fine. So get cracking at that, guys. How are you the coil company? I don't understand that. Sorry. Coil company are there. Oh, Mr. What am I going to say to you, Mr. Coil Company? I'm going to say something to you. So just tell me, give me a date when it's going to happen. I think Ronaldo, all three of my daughter hasn't as yet because she's studying, but all three have. I'm going to get my mom, my dad, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, everybody that's around me that had to live with me while I was a smoker. And I have to say, we had a guy come in the shop today and he came to buy a starter kit, but he had dropped his smoke outside the shop. And he walked in and all I could do was smell that smoke. And immediately when I smelled that smoke, I went to my wife and I said, honey bunny, I am so sorry for you having to put up with me as a smoker. I give my family so much credit for having to put up with me while I was a smoker because, yes, it stank. My God, it stank. Nazim says, mine's a habit of large clouds of good flavor. Yeah. I don't know why people would smoke when you can have friggin' VCT, or you can have I've got the mango from Outcasts in here, and I've got the straw apple in here. I don't know why you would want to smoke, but yeah. A Fluke multimeter by a Fluke, it shows true Fluke. Okay, I'll make a note of that. I see Coil Company hasn't answered my questions. This is the Castle RDA. Okay, we're still trying to get some more of them. Our first batch and second batch went out so quickly. The only thing that tops this on flavor is the recurve. The flavor I get off this thing is, and funny enough, I've tried different RDAs on top of here, and with VCT, because this is my new mod for VCT, which is the vanilla caramel tobacco from Ripe Vapes, and on this little RDA, just every single solitary flavor profile in the juice just pops. So I was trying all the different RDAs and I've gone back to the Castle on this just purely because it gives me every flavor note out of that VCT. And I've got the recurve on my my Monarch. I want to do a thing, caption this. Yeah, we're all waiting, but you see he's going to ignore me now. because I've been asking for like 6 months for my coils. I know he's a really busy man, but yeah, those Ubuntu coils need to come, because we had them on the Ubuntu's on special, and we sold a hell of a lot, and there's a lot of guys asking for those coils. Franny Ronaldo says, yeah, I can't stand it when smoker walks past me and he stinks. I don't mind people smoking around me because I don't crave a cigarette at all. The only thing I crave is a cherry cigar, but I don't crave it. It's that stale after smell that just drives me absolutely insane these days. So much so that I actually feel like puking. That's how bad it is. Yeah, it's you know, Rob Fisher's probably he says it the best, you know, about vaping, how vaping saved his life. I think all of us have got stories, you know, about being a smoker and stuff like that, and how vaping has saved your life. The problem is that government doesn't actually give a shit about you. All they're worried about is taxing you. That's all they're worried. All they're worried about is the money. They don't give an absolute continental. And where they're losing money, they're going to try and make up money elsewhere. I honestly think they are going to cut down. They are going to clamp down on branding. That's one thing they're going to clamp down on. So anything that would be attracted to from a miner's perspective. So like Pokemons and all that type of stuff, and even like this type of stuff, there's like graffiti type stuff where it could attract a younger crowd. I think they're going to put a stop to that. They're definitely going to tax it. They're going to put sin taxes on like tobacco, no questions asked. So be prepared to get hikes on all your stuff. I see the international juice market taking a massive dip. Because there will be new import duties, okay? Because now you've got you importing tobacco products, so I see that the international juice market is either the prices are going to go up, or it's just not gonna be as lucrative as it is currently for the American market to dump their bottles in third world countries, in essence. You know, what I do see is the local vape or juice makers thriving. I do see that, as long as they're abiding by rules and regulations. I do see them being very stringent on mixing processes. So, you know, I think all the kitchen sink mixers are going to fall by the wayside. I do see a lot of mom and pop type stores taking a massive knock, if not closing, if they get really strict on the legislation. I'm hoping not, you know, because there's plenty to go around. You know, your old your more established businesses with established clientele bases have got a better chance of surviving, purely because of clientele base, and just sheer buying power. But yeah, I'm hoping that it's just going to be taxes. You know, we're not going to get away from that, guys. You just have to admit that we're never going to get away from the taxes. We're lucky enough that it's held off as long as we've done. Prices are definitely going to go up. No questions asked on that. I can tell you that right now. Expect massive price increases in juice, you know, which on the other hand, the DIY market will grow. I don't see them being, and this is obviously my opinions, guys, I don't see them totally banning it, because then they, in the same token, they'd have to ban alcohol, they'd have to ban a whole lot of things as well, because they're just going to want the money. That's my opinion. South African government is not geared to do anything else but take money. You know, they're not good at service delivery. You know, how they're going to monitor it, how they're going to manage it. You know, so yeah, but we can go and chat that. VCT for the win, one every day and Sundays, twice on Sundays. Zakia asked, do you get headaches through vaping sometimes? Zakia, you're not drinking enough water, because one of the components, propylene glycol, in your juice actually dehydrates you, so you need to be drinking a lot of water. That's why you're getting headaches. Dresden, the Outcast mango, it's actually a mixture of 3 different mangoes. There is a candied mango in there, and there's some other mangoes in there. I won't tell you the rest of it, and there's some other stuff in there as well. Hi Craig, hi Chet, hi Jean. Ubuntu, yep, all the way, proudly South African. Wait. Adib asks, is the Outcast grape on ice like Fantasy grape? Similar, but not exactly the same, no. Brent says, yeah, oh man, I was out the other night and a sip of a mate's beer and I could smell and taste smoke. It's amazing how that smoke gets into everything. You know, now as a non-smoker, you are so, your smell is so in tune to that, and I could actually get, yeah. Nizam, just a funny thing, okay, and this is from the insurance industry, in the category of their highest risk if you on devices or means of tobacco is the following. Your most dangerous is a hookah. Thereafter is a normal cigarette, followed by pipe tobacco, and then snuff. Okay, so your hookah, I don't know why, don't ask me the scientific reason why, is the highest risk from a cancer perspective and other diseases, is the hookah. So why, I don't know why. You'll have to, I can maybe find out that information for you as well. And I see Hugo's there. Hello, Hugo. Hi, Hugo. You buy now. You pay now. Hello, Charles. Oh, hardest. Do you think they would tax hardware? That's a hard one. That's a really hard one. It's an electronic device. They can't differentiate between one electronic device and a different electronic device. You know, in the same token, cell phones, they supposedly cause cancer. They should be taxing your cell phone. Currently, they don't have the correct codes at customs for all that type of stuff, so it's really coming through a bit under the radar. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they will charge you, or they don't charge you a sin tax on your hookah pipe. They don't charge you those type of things. Maybe. Maybe, you know, I don't quite know. Definitely on e-juice, definitely on nicotine based, on nic salts, all this type of stuff. See, here lies a question as well. You get synthetic nicotine, which is not derived from the tobacco plant, and I don't even know why they call it synthetic nicotine, but well, they call it synthetic nicotine, so people buy the stuff so that, you know, it's doing the same thing of what nicotine does. How would they, you know, there's the loophole in the system. It's not a tobacco product. It's no way linked to tobacco, whatever. You know, it's totally synthetically made. Does exactly the same as nicotine does, but it's synthetically made. Would they tax it the same then? You know, so look, you know, although I say that now, I'm sure the Americans are a lot more intelligent and they've had to come across this already. You know, did they? I must actually ask some of my American friends whether or not they've ever tried that to avoid the taxations on synthetic nicotine. Yeah, so yeah, your brains. There must be ways and means around it, but would they tax hardware? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna make a judgment call there. Yeah, you see, the problem that arises there is, like Andre says, America might have a huge problem with the flavor ban that might become a reality. Yeah, that is a major problem. The major problem is what happens then is they move their distribution channels offshore. You must remember, their legislation is for products manufactured and distributed in the United States of America. It's not for imported products. Okay, there's a big difference. It's for manufactured and exported products, not for imported products, as far as I've heard from the legislation. You know, so there's always a way to skin a cat. But yeah. Hugo says harder. Hugo says most definitely. We don't know until we've got it. You know, I would hope not, but yeah, the time will tell. All we can say to do is just, guys, get every auntie, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, nephew, niece, ex-wife, mother-in-law, you name it, to sign that petition. The more the merrier. Cool beans. So I'm just trying to catch up on some questions here. Is a tank like the Bravo comparable to flavor on the recurve? No, it's two total different types of flavor. Although some of the tanks are giving really good flavor, you can't compete against RDAs, and especially something like the recurve. The recurve's flavor is absolutely insane. Lovely diplomatic answer, Mr. Coil Company. Lovely diplomatic answer. You've got until the end of the month, otherwise I'm going to send all the people who want them to knock on your door. Okay, Mania? How's it, Brandon? How are you? The Coil Company perfection takes time. We've been waiting long enough though, buddy. Yeah, you see, Jared asked the question, which is a relevant question. What happens to 0% nic flavor with regards to tax? Well, if it doesn't contain nicotine, they can't tax it. You see, therein lies the dilemma that South Africa has. They can't even fix potholes in the road. How are they going to govern that? Okay, you know, if you look at what's happened in the United Kingdom, okay, 10 ml bottles, they will sell you 10 ml bottles, okay, with nicotine in, or you can buy as big a quantity as you want with zero nicotine. Okay, whether they tax it or not, I don't have the answer there, but and then they will tax the nicotine shot. Okay, so I think it's going to be taxed by milligram. Okay, so ideally, which also lies a health risk. You would buy in the United Kingdom it's limited to 20 milligram. That's the maximum that they're allowed to sell. So if you bought a nicotine shot, it would be 20 milligram. Hypothetically, you would get taxed on the nicotine shot, however many shots you bought for your juices. I think that's the way, that's the similar type of concept that they might come up down the line. Steve says cell phones and chargers are regulated by CASA and could see them confiscate chargers for vapes as documents for these items would be an issue. Steve, with importing and stuff like that, you actually need to have the documentation. Okay, otherwise you can't import the stuff. So that's not really an issue for chargers and stuff like that. For specific devices, you're more than likely they'd have to do the same for every single solitary device. But once SARS has that documentation, if there's 50 people importing, they've got that documentation. You just have to supply them with the documentation for that. And the Chinese, they're going to do their documentation, because if they don't do the documentation, they're not going to sell the item. So they would have to do that and do the homework themselves. Just Julian says, just import us machine parts. Yeah, guys, there's a lot of guys out there that in the vaping industry, and I won't name names, that are not doing things by the books. You know, these small little okey pokies that are up and coming, that are not paying import duties correctly, that are not doing that to just try and get their little share of the pie. Those are the guys you've got to watch out for. And those are the guys really that you need to this is going to come across as a sales pitch. It's not. You need to deal with reputable vendors when you're buying stuff, especially juice making. It's one wrong move and something goes wrong with mixing, or some contaminant is entered into your juices and stuff like that. Once you open the bottle, there's nothing really we can do about it. But as a sealed bottle, we take responsibility for that. You know what I mean? That's why every single solitary juice maker should be carrying public liability. Whether they do or don't, we definitely do. It's one of those things. Mohammed, Hugo's got all that documentation. They when they're meeting, I don't quite know. I didn't really have time to read all that type of stuff today. But it's not far off from being gazetted, and then gazetted can take anywhere up to like 2 years for it to be implemented. It all depends on how fast they want to get their money. Yeah. There's the Beard says in Canada they sell zero marijuana juice, and then you need to get to go to the next door shop, which is the same shop that have a license to distribute nicotine, and you buy whatever nic you want as a one shot. So I would almost this actually shows you how stupid South African government is. Okay, is for the last, I think, 18 months going on 2 years. Okay, since we've had the laboratory and mixing in large volume, or longer than that, but for the last 2 years, every month I send an email to the Pharmaceutical Association of South Africa asking them, how do I apply for a license to deal with nicotine? And I get the same answer every year: you don't need a license to mix with nicotine. And every month I ask them the same question. They haven't even got that side right, because obviously nicotine is a drug, so it falls under the pharmaceuticals and medical mandate. They don't even know about whether you need a license or not. I get the same generic answer every time: so you don't need to have a license to mix nicotine. But I said I want a license. I want to come and write an exam. I want to be licensed. I want to be proficient in knowing that I know what I'm doing when I'm working with nicotine. And they just are absolutely dumbfounded. They have no clue why I keep on asking this question. Dreshan Nadia, hi Craig, our juice is not taxed as yet. However, at the moment we are also fighting a losing battle due to stupid Philip Morris, and the IQOS product has messed things up for us. Yeah, see, the problem here is that if you take the entire vaping industry in South Africa, okay, and you take our full net worth as vapors, vape institutions, vape shops, or whatever like that, we don't even make up 1% of what a company like Philip Morris is worth. Okay, and they just line pockets and do whatever they have to do, and they will gear the legislation through lobbying and paying backhanders and stuff like that to the powers that be, to try and kill vaping. Okay, the bonus that we have today compared to the past is we have social media. Okay, and we have instant contact with people, so those type of things get ousted very quickly. If you go back 20 years, 30 years ago, if you look at what happened in South African politics, we would never have happened what happened in the last, you know, how many of these people have been exposed in the last 6 months. It would never have happened, and it's all because of social media. So they're more under the spotlight now, and they get taken to task more often, get more lawsuits added against them because, you know, there's freedom of information and all these new acts that are available, Croatia and all these type of things. So it's a little bit harder for them to duck and dive the system. But in saying that, you know, it's a big battle we're going to have to fight. Brandon says, Craig, what magic did you put in Tropicilla? 100 milliliter gone in just over a week. It's made with love, my boy. It's made with love. Sometimes need to fuel the gravy train. Yeah, yeah, man. It's one of those topics that we could sit and talk to for hours and hours and hours and hours on. And yeah, I just hope that everybody just does what they're supposed to do, because it literally takes you less time to do than re-wicking a single coil to answer that petition. So yeah, go ahead and do it, guys. Just a little bit of feedback on a product. Unfortunately, I cracked my tank. Yeah, I dropped it by mistake, and I forgot my box at home. But the Aqua Reboot, which all the international guys were raving about, and as I did do a little bit of an unboxing and my thoughts on it, do not try and put these big monster alien coils and these big monster Clapton coils in there. Use straightforward round wire or flat wire 7 rep 3.5 millimeter ID 24 gauge or 22 gauge, and that tank absolutely sings. Okay, I just think when everybody's always thinks bigger is better, it's actually the opposite in my opinion. When I tried it, I think the airflow was so stifled by those massive coils that it didn't flow through properly. And I'm hovering the coils about 3 millimeters, 4 millimeters above the airflow, and the tank absolutely sings with those type of coils. And so if you have bought a Reboot, try those coils. If we had a customer come in today as well, also complaining, oh, this thing doesn't taste like you know, and these international reviewers don't know what they're talking about. And I quickly whacked up some 24 gauge 7 rep haywire flat wire, and I popped them in there, and the guy walked out a happy chappy. So if you have bought one, just use those coils, and you'll be like a pig in shit. Yeah, Dresden, I think the scenario, yeah, man, yeah, I don't have an answer for that, buddy. Vaughan, Philip Morris is probably one of your biggest tobacco distributors in the world, okay, and there's a couple of other ones. I can't think of their names off the top of my head. I think Philip Morris does Dunhill, you know, and Benson Hedges, and a whole lot of other ones. Well, I can't think those names have changed by now. Massive tobacco distributor. What juice was that in your hand? It looks familiar. This is SNLV Nick Salts. It's not available. We had a couple of bottles. But yeah, it's not available currently. Yeah, bring me one, Mr. Beard. Seeing as we lend you all the tanks, can you make a bubble glass for that? Because I think the triple T holds like 6 mils of juice. I think it is, but it's not enough. I need like at least 10 mils of juice. So if you could make a bubble tank for that, that'd be epic. Serious, Trishan. My God, I hope they get sued for it. Oh shit, yeah, folks. So vape, or we always try to be one step ahead of everybody else. And for those who don't know, who are not following us on Instagram or following us on social media, we launched today a communication tool, a fun tool. We are adding it to it the whole time, a place where you guys as a community, it's just merely managed by us. It is a survey thing, so it's not for outside vendors, unless we know you and unless you are contributing towards the community. We've started a Discord group. I will post the link as soon as I find it here quickly. A Discord group, okay, where it's going to be packed full of information. You guys can go and meet friends, make friends. You guys can have group chats, and a whole lot of extra things. I'm going to post a link on it here just as soon as I find it. Please go and sign up. It's totally free. It's a place for you to post your pictures. As I said, you have group chats. We'll be posting specials on there, videos, so much shit that we're going to be posting on that. I'm going to be posting the link here, okay? Just go and click on that, sign up for it, okay? There is, on every page, there is a under 18 thing, so once you've clicked it once, it will be gone. It's just another way, easier way for us to communicate with you as well. It is mobile friendly, which is a hell of a lack of those people who have used Discord before. And we'll be slowly adding some stuff to it. There's group chat functions, there's group video functions. So what we can do is we can have a group chat, a whole lot of people who maybe want me to show you how to build the tank properly. We can log on there, say, okay, today I'm doing X, and we can do it live, and you can ask questions while we're doing it. You can talk to me, or we can have a group chat and stuff like that. So yeah, please go and sign up for that. As I said, it's totally free. You don't have to, but we're going to be doing stuff through that to add value back to you guys. Discord users will get first choice on things, and it's a whole lot of things. But remember to read the rules. Okay, the rules are really important. So please go and do that. Oh, what is the time? It's getting to that time of the night. Time to give away. Please, guys, if you're in Durban, pull in on Saturday. We've got a live DJ playing. He's going to be playing most of the day. There's lots of freebie giveaways. Tasting stations up for the Outcast juices. I'm really excited for Steam Masters to get these juices out to the community. It's been a long time in the making, so yeah, make sure you drop there. If you haven't used the word Outcasts already, make sure you use the word Outcasts, because I'm going to do the live draw now. Let me just make sure everybody's eligible. Yeah, everybody's eligible. 78 eligible users, yep, that have used the word Outcasts. Sure, let's go and do that now. Okay, let's do the giveaway. Cool beans. I'll give you 1 minute. Yeah, I've worn a bunch of assets. Smoke-free future. You know, the only reason they're doing smoke-free future is they've realized that they fucked up. Ryan, an RTA is where your coils are at the bottom and you've got it surrounding by a tank. An RDTA is a dripper with a tank capacity at the bottom. Hope that makes sense. Okay, let's do this, baby. So that person will win a set of juices, 3 milligram, a sticker and a cap, compliments of Steam Masters. And let's just make sure everybody's eligible. Yep, everybody's eligible. There are 80 people that are eligible for it, and you know how it works. I roll it 3 times, and the person on the 3rd time, cool beans, Mr. Beard, cool beans. We're gonna cool beans now. We're gonna roll it. Okay, and on the 3rd roll, the winner will win that prize. So I'm rolling it the 1st time, and I'm rolling it the 2nd time, and wishing you all the best of luck. And The winner is Mr. JP Rousseau. Mr. JP Rousseau, can you please PM me on the survey page with your full name, your full address, your postal code, and your cell phone number? Congratulations. Congratulations to you. You'll be the first customer in South Africa to have these juices. Just getting back to the juice, Outcast juices. We will be running a graffiti competition at the shop. We've got this fancy software where we can watch you doing some graffiti. It's all digital and whatever like that. Person who wins the best graffiti will win an Outcast hamper. There's a nationwide competition for an best out the norm Instagram photograph, as long as it was a tag Vape and Steam Masters and your local vape shop that you attended to, so obviously they get some coverage as well. That was 3 rolls. Dreshin, my boy, you're the only UK customer that will ever win anything, because I like you that much. But you didn't win that one. You've already won one. Mr. JP Rousseau finally won something. Okay, just don't forget to message me. Yeah, so watch out. Outcast is launching, and we are going to have one epic day in the shop. Hopefully the crowds are as good as this weekend. We had over 850 people come through the doors over this long weekend, we are absolutely blown away by people. We had people from Joburg, from Pretoria, from Centurion, from Bloemfontein, from Pitsonavata, from Mikey'sfontein, from Cape Town, Port Elizabeth, everywhere we had coming through the shop. So that we were really humbled by that. But yeah, guys, make sure to get your friends, family, whatever, to go and do that vote and put your stamp for the on the petition that's going around. I'll talk to the guys at the various organizations to tell them to do that as well, and hopefully we can get the numbers up. Let's just see how it goes tomorrow. I'll keep you track on how many people we've got, and we will be posting stuff in the near future regarding that. Apart from that, all I got to do is say good night, guys, and yeah, hope you have a lucky evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Hopefully next Wednesday I've got an international guest. I'm just trying to see if he's available on that night, all the way from the UK. And yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for listening to me talk shit again. Well, I didn't talk shit tonight. We spoke something legit tonight. Yeah, thanks, guys. Cheers. Bye.